Hey, what is going on, guys? It's the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. Get my thoughts about the NFL Divisional Round playoffs of 2020-2021. We had some exciting games. Pretty much, I had all my predictions correct. Obviously, not the scores, but on the wild card round, we did we did good, but in reverse with the Bills and the Colts, and then of course. We were only a point off on the score in Washington and Tampa. I predicted 31-24 Tampa, and it ended up being 31-23. So, yeah. But not the scores weren't predicted correctly this round. But my Packers did win. Go Pack, go! We're gonna right the wrongs this week in the NFC Championship game. But very, very happy. That being said, I don't know what pizza I'm going to be ordering this week for the NFC Championship game, since pizza, it's not around anymore, at least in my area. They closed all of them down in Western New York. So, yeah, I'll have to be doing a different pizza place this week. So we're going to be hosting the NFC Championship game. Kansas City's going to be hosting the AFC Championship game. We have a lot of drama and a lot of things going on here. So first, my Packers. We kicked ass. We made names. Everyone talked about the Rams being the number one defense. Defense wins championships. Not today. Offense wins championship. And in this case, Aaron Rodgers, aka A-Rod, as I call him, lit it up on fire. You know what I'm saying, my boy? He went into another gear. You know what I mean? What was it at? What was the when they came in? I knew going into the game that if we had. If we were going quick on them, we were probably going to beat them as long as we never let up. And that's exactly what we did. We knew their offense wasn't going to be sharp because Sam Darnold had the thumb injury. And the only person who can play pretty good with a thumb injury is my boy, Brett Favre. Now, he started this week despite not starting last week, but he came in last week because the backup quarterback who started last week got injured with a neck injury. So, why am I saying Sam Darnold? Wow. Jared Goff, my bad. Jared Goff was injured he was injured before, before week 17, and he had the thumb injury, and Goff, didn't start against Seattle, but came in pretty okay. But Seattle was just trash. I'm actually glad we did have to play the Rams. I'm glad the Rams did win because I would have rather played them than Tampa. Obviously, I knew the possibility we were going to eventually have to play Tampa anyways. But I would have rather played them in the NFC Championship game than have to play them in the divisional round. So I was happy that the Rams won. A lot of people were like, oh, we need the Bears to win or anything like that. No. I was satisfied when the Rams won against Seattle. My prediction was wrong, but I was very, very happy that they won that. I rather play Tampa in the NFC Championship game. Because most of the team in Tampa isn't going to be used to the snow, with the exception of Brady. Brady, Gronk will be used to it, but a lot of these other players aren't going to be used to that snow. So, if we get it, we didn't get that much against the Rams. So hopefully we'll get a blizzard next week in the NFC Championship game. So at the end of the day, with our stats, Aaron Rodgers, 23 for 36, 296 passing yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions. That's the most important thing. He didn't throw any interceptions in this game, which obviously contributed to a lot. Aaron Jones, 14 attempts, 99 rushing yards, only a yard short of 100. He obviously had the touchdown, the rushing touchdown. So we had a lot of good things going in this game. We had a lot of things clicking. I feel a lot more confident going into this game than last year because we have it at home. Obviously, we lost to Tampa Bay earlier in the season, but I would like to point out Tampa Bay lost to New Orleans Saints twice this year and got killed in the last meeting they had against them. And, oh yeah, Tampa just beat the Saints in the playoffs. So us losing earlier in the season to Tampa the way we did is not really a concern to me. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't, make mistakes and he plays efficient, I don't think we can lose. The only way we lose this game is if we beat ourselves, really, and we get blown out, which hopefully that doesn't happen again. But the way we're playing right now in Green Bay, I can't see us losing here. And yes, I'm a huge Packers fan, obviously. I'm going to be biased towards my team, but I really feel confident that we're going to win this one. We're going to right the wrong. Going back to since Seattle, when we played Seattle in the NFC Championship game, I believe that was in 2015. It may have been 2014. I don't remember. It was one of those years. We played them, and then a couple years after that, we played Atlanta, and then of course, this year we played, or last year we played, the Niners. We didn't get the home game on that, so that was a huge issue there for us. So, we've had a lot going into this, a lot of build-up, a lot of games, a lot of championship games that we played that we didn't win. Especially that Seattle. It started with that Seattle NFC Championship game. We should have won that game, and we didn't. We would have won that Super Bowl against New England again, just like how we would have won it in 2007 had we gotten past the Giants, which we should have. We're exactly where we need to be. We're exactly where we need to be for this NFC Championship game. So again, final score. The final score was officially, I believe, it's 32-18. That was our score. Solid 2-touchdown victory. There was a lot of shakiness going on. We had the botched extra point. We had the botched extra point, and a lot of people were concerned by Crosby, but in the end, 32-18. At the end of the day, no shame. We did what we needed to do. We won the game. So yeah, we dominated. We looked very efficient, very, very good. In terms of the other games, Ravens, Bills. Bills easily won this game, but I never really felt that this game was winnable by any of these two teams. It was 3-0 for most of the game, and then I believe right before the half, I think it was, Baltimore got a field goal to tie it up. The kickers were horrible in this game. It's amazing that both of them were able to make one field goal because that was all they were able to do. The Bills kicker missed 2 field goals. Tucker, who's the most accurate kicker in the league, he missed 2 field goals as well. The wind was killing them both. Good thing this game didn't come down to a field goal because the team that would have tried to kick the field goal to win the game wouldn't have won. So this game had to be won by the most points, obviously touchdowns and stuff like that. In terms of that, getting the big touchdown scores. And really, overall, it was just a weird game. Buffalo finally scored an offensive touchdown and took command of the game. Took more charge of the game than they had when they had a 3-0 lead. And then, of course, the pick six on Lamar, that pretty much put the game away. But there's still a lot of time left when that happened. But the Ravens just never felt in sync. And then, of course, Lamar went down with a concussion. And that was pretty much all she wrote. So Buffalo didn't really do that much in this game. But they really didn't have to, because it didn't feel like the Ravens were really well-rounded in this game. As someone who lives in Buffalo, there are a lot of people that I know that are really excited that the Bills are in the AFC Championship game. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm not a Bills fan. Obviously, I'm a Packers fan, as y'all know in my channel, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I was like, one of my friends is like, Frank, if it's the Bills and the Packers in the Super Bowl, I'm going to have to hate you for the next 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm still rooting for my team. They're like, go ahead. It's it's gotten to that point right now. It's really weird, because it's like, my team is the Packers, but the team that is locally where I live is the Bills. So it's everyone's going nuts here that the Bills are this far in. It's really weird, because it's not been like this in a long time, because this team has been crap for years. But I will say this, and I tell everybody this every chance I get, because everyone thought I was crazy when I said Josh Allen, before even the Bills picked this guy. I said this guy is going to be a franchise quarterback. I said it. I said he was the best quarterback in the draft that year in 2018. And I said the Browns should have taken him. I mean, Baker Mayfield is okay too. He's doing pretty good as well for himself. He really showed that he is a franchise quarterback as well himself. After the abysmal year last year. He showed promise his rookie year, but that last year was abysmal. But I don't really think it was all his fault. There was a lot of exploitations for a year or two. And then, of course, the head coach the coach they picked to be the head coach was terrible. Freddie Kitchens was just a terrible coach, and they got it in the right direction for year 3. With the right head coach, and they can actually show the promise that he showed in his rookie year for Baker Mayfield. But I think when it's all said and done, Josh Allen is going to be the best quarterback out of all of them, including Lamar. I think he's better than Lamar. I don't think Lamar is bad. I don't think he's as good as Josh. I think Josh is going to, when it's all said and done, I think he'll have the better career stats. Just in my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but that's just my opinion right now. I've just seen it. I've seen this guy, and even before Buffalo drafted him, I was like, the Jets should have taken him over Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is not a good quarterback, and it shows. That's where it is. For Buffalo right now. Buffalo is doing really good. we got a table bet. We'll get more of that in another video, though. We'll get more in the table bet in another video. We'll get into that in another video. We're not going to get into the Super Bowl table bet because we don't know if the Packers and the Bills are going to be meeting in the Super Bowl. But we'll get into that. In another video. We'll talk about that next week if the impossible happens, and it is Green Bay and Buffalo in the Super Bowl. But anyways, so next, as we kind of already talked about it a little bit, Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City was very efficient in this game. Take nothing away from the Cleveland Browns. They looked very good in this game. I thought the Browns probably would lose badly to Kansas City. Kansas City is just a really, really rounded team. So I give them a lot of credit. No shame in this. No shame in this at all. To anybody who's a Cleveland Browns fan, you should be really happy with this. They looked very efficient in this game. No shame losing to someone like Kansas City, which is well established right now. They got a lot of promise, though, coming out of this game. It's the best season they've had, in a long time, obviously. It's the best season they've had in a long time. But definitely, Cleveland looked very good. They looked even better, though, once Patrick Mahomes went out with the concussion, which is going to be the main topic of this. If Patrick Mahomes can't go, Buffalo's winning this game, okay? Even if it's in Kansas City. No disrespect to the backup, Chad Henne or whatever, but he's not going to beat Josh Allen, okay? He didn't score any points after Patrick Mahomes went out with the concussion. They just played on the lead that they had and hoped that they could just hold them down and win that way. And he did get a big run, which set up the fourth down play, which ultimately won the game. But you can't bet on that in a full 15-minute game against the Bills defense right now, which is pretty good. And then, of course, the offense that Buffalo has. They're going to have to play a little better than what they did against the Ravens. But honestly, I think the Ravens have a better defense than Kansas City. Kansas City's defense is an okay defense. It's a very admirable defense with that high-powered offense, but I don't think it's a great defense. Like a Ravens defense. And with Buffalo, the way they're moving the ball, even though it's in Kansas City, if Patrick Mahomes can't go, it's over. And before people say, oh, Mahomes for sure will play, keep in mind he has a concussion, which means it's not up to Andy Reid on whether he gets cleared, or it's not up to Patrick Mahomes himself on whether he will play in the game. Like, you can have a broken thumb, like Goff. You can have a leg injury and play, a toe injury, whatever. You can have that and still play. You can still, choose to play that game. But when it comes to concussions, it's out of the player's hand, individual player's hand, and it's out of Andy Reid's hand. It goes through a concussion protocol, which is 5 steps to be cleared for the game. And that being said, I don't know if Patrick will be able to be cleared by Sunday. It's going to be the late game, so that's the one advantage they have, but I don't know if he's going to be cleared, guys. I don't know. In my opinion right now, I don't think he will be, because the way those concussion tests are, that's going to be the story of the week, is whether he'll be cleared or not. But with concussions, that's the one injury that the NFL will not allow the player and or the coach decide if the person's going to start. Like, they can go above the doctor's, hand and start the game. The concussion's out of their hands. Obviously Andy Reid's optimistic. He's going to say, the stuff to say, to keep everyone interested in it, with the hopes that he will start. But overall, it's going to be tough. If he doesn't go, I can't see this Buffalo team losing. Kansas City, if Kansas City has a healthy Patrick Mahomes, they win the game. Kansas City is the best team in the AFC. But if he can't go, Bills probably win this game. Like I said, that's the only way I see Buffalo winning this game, is if Patrick can't go. If Patrick is not allowed to start in this game, it's over. I don't care how much practice they have for, Chad Henne. I don't care how much the players, are hyping him up, to go or whatever. There's no way he'll beat the Buffalo Bills. That Bills Mafia defense right now is on fire. in their offense. I just don't think they'll be able to keep up with that. So, Kansas City won a close one. They won by 5 points. They held on to the lead. Cleveland made a slight comeback to make it close at the end after Mahomes went down. But overall, I don't know, guys. This is gonna be the one big question mark going into the championship game, too, because this could definitely change a lot of dynamics. The final game was Tampa Bay Buccaneers at New Orleans Saints. Probably was Drew Brees' last game. They lost the game. Very unfortunate for them. I would have rather played the Saints, to be completely honest with you, in the NFC Championship game, but I have no problem us playing Tampa because we can get our revenge on them on our way to the Super Bowl. But I would have liked to have played the Saints in the championship game over Tampa if I had to personally pick. The game was pretty close the most of the way through. There were a couple of mistakes that were made. Drew Brees is probably going to be blamed for a lot of the stuff that happened, but 2 of the 3 picks that happened, in my opinion, weren't his fault. The 2 interceptions, the Thomas one. The Thomas one was just an overall good play by the cornerback, and Thomas kind of went a little over. Brees expected him to be in a certain spot in the route from what it looked like, and it wasn't there because of it. The other pick that happened later on, Kamara clearly misread his route. Brees put it under. Kamara was supposed to go further, or Kamara was supposed to go short on the play, and he went further than he was supposed to, and then that led to the pick. And then of course there was the fumble, which that was not Brees' fault at all. So a lot of people are gonna blame Brees on this, on them losing the game, especially since, I even heard stupid things about, Jameis Winston, if he had, played the whole game, they would have won. That's stupid thinking. Jameis Winston threw a touchdown pass on a trick play that caught the Bucs off guard. If he had played a full game, it would not have been that way at all, guys. Really what I think hurt them was that Hill was inactive in the game. Like, if they had Taysom Hill, because if you notice, other than that trick play with Jameis Winston, that was the only trick play they did. They didn't try to do their stuff that they did with Hill, which could have thrown the Bucs defense off by a lot and could have made the game much better, especially towards the end. Without Tyson Hill as that, that gimmick, wildcat type, quarterback that they use for gadgets and all that stuff they use. I don't know what you really would call him. I guess he's not really a wildcat one, but he really is. He's kind of one of those tricksters that comes in for them. Without him in that lineup, I really think that hurt them because it really changed the dynamic of what they were doing all year for their offense. Brees also threw a touchdown pass in this game, so, Brees was efficient in this game. Just mistakes happen, and unfortunately, it hurt the Saints. Most of the stuff Tampa Bay did, like in terms of all the scores that they got, were on short field scores that capitalized by from the Tampa Bay defense turnovers, which also brings me to another point of why I feel like if the Packers don't turn the ball over, and we just play efficient like we did against the Rams, no turnovers, just score. And even if we don't score as much, which I think we will, but if we don't score as much, if we don't make any mistakes, we're not losing this game, because Tampa did not score, and that did not score without the help of the defense. the defense gave them the short field, and that's how they capitalized on pretty much all their touchdowns in the game. If we don't allow that stuff to happen, we win this game. We win this game, because one of the main reasons why we lost the first game at Tampa Bay, because we scored the first touchdown in that game. We got the touchdown. We went up. And then after that, on the next possession, we threw that interception, and it was all downhill from there. They scored, and then we never were able to score again. And that was what happened in that game. If we don't do that crap, and we play efficient, and, we don't turn the ball over, we're going to win this game. Because Brady only looked sharp from short field. He didn't look sharp consistently, through the, having to drive down the length of the field, the whole way. They didn't really look that efficient in that front. I will knock on wood because it is goddamn Tom Brady, but that's just from what I was seeing from looking at this game. So the way I look at it, if we play our game, go Pack Go, Cheesehead Nation, we're gonna win this shit, and we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. Period. I mean, that's just it. Super Bowl 55. It's what it's all about right now. Not so much sure about the predictions right now, but that's where I look at, my thoughts on these games. We got the Bills at Chiefs, and obviously we got the Buccaneers coming to my Green Bay Packers Lambeau Field to go, coincidentally, to Tampa for the Super Bowl 55. And that's another reason why we had to prevent Tampa from going, because, they would get a home game without actually being the home team, I think. They were a wild card team this whole year and the whole playoffs, and they're going to get the Super Bowl whole game. Hell no, we don't want to see that shit. We also don't want to see Tom Brady win another goddamn Super Bowl. I know y'all know you don't want Tom Brady to win another Super Bowl unless you're like a Bucs fan, I guess, maybe a Patriots fan. If you're still rooting for Tom at this point. But other than that, I mean, that's all you can root for with the Patriots not in the playoffs, right? But yeah, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. What do you guys think? Go Pack Go. Comment, rate. If you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. And that's about it, guys. I'm the Ultimate Goku, my friend. Peace.